Before we start today's episode, I just want to say rest in peace, Alex Collins. He tragically passed away at 28 years old yesterday. My thoughts and prayers are with your friends and family, and may you rest in eternal peace.
Life is really real, I would say, and being 27 years old, all of my teammates, younger than me, older than me, you never think about a guy that just was in the league playing with a guy. Life could end so soon. To Alex Collins, he was a funny teammate. I think he made everybody laugh. But I just want to encourage everyone, whoever's listening, just tell your people you love them, because you truly never know. So I just wanted to say that, and lots of prayers to Alex Collins and his family.
Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim there where the sense can't tame the untamed.
Appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. We just wrapped day one of joint practice with the Washington Commanders. I love these joint practices. Gets the guys going against another team. The competition always ramps up. It usually gets a little chippy. Practice got physical. I didn't expect anything else. There wasn't anything too crazy. Tylan Wallace got up. Manuel Forbes was still being kind of physical with him, and Tylan took a swing. I like to see that fight from Tylan Wallace. He's been making plays in camp, had a nice preseason game, and is really stacking some days here. And if he can continue to show out in the preseason and in camp, I think he will be that sixth wide receiver. Devin Duvernay and Tylan Wallace seem to be right now that fifth and sixth wide receiver. Shout out to Tylan Wallace. He's been on this team for a few years, and to make this group of receivers, if he does make the team, it is really impressive. Mark Andrews absolutely bodied a dude after he got up, and that led to another little scrap. That was kind of fun to see. We know Mark Andrews is a dog, especially when the other team comes in. He's super competitive. He's fiery, and that's what makes him one of the best tight ends in the game. Nothing too crazy with the fights. They were broken up pretty fast, and this is what you expect to see. I don't have a problem with any of this. I don't think anything got out of hand. Harbaugh made a good point in his press conference just now about the chippiness, basically saying it stems from they're not really allowed to fully tackle each other. They're kind of holding up. You're full speed until that tackle. But then there's kind of this gray area where it's like, how hard can you hit, though? You're not tackling them to the ground, but how hard can you hit? So there's this gray area where guys get rubbed the wrong way, where the opponent hits them a little harder than they want, and then they hit them back. And then obviously that creates a little back and forth, and the teams come over and separate it up. But nothing crazy. I expect this. This will probably happen tomorrow as well. We have another joint practice with the Washington Commanders tomorrow. And then we practice by ourselves for the rest of the week, and then we play the Washington Commanders next Monday. So that'll be really interesting. Odell Beckham Jr. continues to impress. Lamar hit him on a deep shot. Ball was like a little underthrown, but Beckham turned around, was able to track it, still make the catch. Odell looked a little quicker and explosive today than I've seen him recently. I don't know if it was just because another team came in, the competition ramped up, the adrenaline's going. I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. And I'm sure when the regular season comes, Odell's going to be even more fired up. But he looked explosive. He looked quick, smooth, and his catch radius just consistently impresses me. I think he's going to help out Lamar so much. That ball doesn't need to be pinpoint. You know what I mean? We saw that on the deep throw. If Lamar would have hit him in stride, in full speed stride, Odell was gone for a touchdown. And I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this, but Odell is so crafty when the ball's in the air to trick out the cornerback. We saw that a couple weeks ago when he caught that ball down the sideline against Rocky Ya-Sin, where when the ball was thrown in the air, Odell is running with Rocky Ya-Sin and then gives him a stutter just to distract Rock Ya-Sin, but Odell's still tracking that ball or from the original place. It's all pre-planned. That just shows a high football IQ, a high route running IQ, and just some veteran craftiness that we are not used to in Baltimore at the wide receiver position. So I can't wait for Odell to continue to make plays. He's going to make a lot of big plays this year. Mark Andrews also showed up as always. I think he's still going to be heavily involved in this offense, especially because he's going to get less attention. You can't put everyone on Mark Andrews like you have in the years past, where he was by far our biggest weapon in the pass game. He still may be one of our biggest weapons in the pass game, but when you toss in all of our receiver weapons now, you're not able to singular your focus on Mark Andrews anymore. So there's just going to be so much space. There's going to be a lot of single coverage, and I trust these guys to win their battles, especially Zay Flowers, who just continues practice after practice to impress. His start-stop ability is elite. I mean, there's just no way he's not going to be able to get separation in the league. I think this guy is going to make a lot of plays this season and beyond. I mean, this guy's going to have an incredible NFL career. He's got the perfect mentality. He can run every route. He can line up anywhere, and just look at the film today. I mean, even when he wasn't getting the ball thrown to him, this guy was open. I felt like every time I looked Zay Flowers' way, he was beating his man. This isn't just normal training camp hype. You hear this from all the players in the locker room. Zay Flowers has been doing this all camp long. He was getting open in the preseason game as well against the Eagles. They held him a few times just to make sure that he didn't make the play. And then now the Commanders come in, and he's doing the same thing to their cornerbacks. Zay Flowers is going to be an insanely tough cover and an absolute weapon for this offense. I thought Lamar Jackson looked really sharp today. A couple balls here and there that slightly underthrown, but he's really working on the deep ball. He took multiple shots deep to Flowers and Odell and the running backs. Justice Hill caught a deep ball down the sideline. Lamar threw Zay a perfect deep ball. Zay couldn't really track it. I think the sun got in the way or something. All he had to do was stick his hands out. It was right there. I mean, the ball was perfect, and I feel like in the regular season or the majority of the time, Zay's going to come out with that play. But Zay had his man beat, and Lamar delivered a perfect ball. If they can get a deep pass game going, that's just going to open up everything else. And we're not even talking about the run game, you know what I mean? The Ravens are known to run the ball. We're obviously going to pass a lot more this year. Marlon Humphrey said in his press conference that he expects 2,000-yard receivers from this team. I don't know if I agree with that. I would love that, obviously, but I think we have so many weapons that I don't know if we can get 2,000-yard receivers. I think one guy may pass 1,000, and it still could be Mark Andrews. That's who it usually is. I wouldn't be shocked if Mark Andrews goes past 1,000. It'd be pretty special if two guys did go over 1,000 yards receiving, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I just know we have a lot of weapons. I'm not saying that we don't have guys capable of going 1,000 yards. We clearly do. There's just so many weapons, including the running backs. Lamar Jackson's going to run a little bit. And then you got Odell, Zay, Rashad Bateman, Aguilar, Duvernay, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. There's so many weapons, so many receiving weapons. The running backs involved in the pass game that I don't know, if we can have a bunch of guys get over 1,000 yards, but we'll see. Defense looks solid today, held their own. Our cornerback situation's still super thin, so we're kind of just tossing guys out there. Marlon Humphrey said it was great to go against different receivers and still top-tier receivers. I mean, Terry McLaurin and Dotson are very solid receivers. They also got Curtis Samuel. They got a good receiving core, so good work for our D-backs. DeAndre Houston Carson, who we just signed, he was on the Bears, mainly known as like a backup safety special teams guy, but I've been hearing great things from the Bears fans, at least on Twitter. I've been scrolling through Bears fans' responses just to see like what do they think of him, because I wasn't super familiar with his game, but they like him. They like him a lot. They say we got a good one, and a lot of people are kind of comparing him to an Anthony Levine type role, which I don't mind. I love having a baller on special teams who also can provide solid safety depth. So, and he had a pass breakup today. He was at practice today, so I like that signing. I think that'll provide good depth. We still obviously need to add a more experienced corner to this room and get these guys back healthy, but we're treading water right now at that position, and I think that we'll solve it soon. Hopefully DeCosta's got something up his sleeve. Oweh had a great day, was getting to the quarterback today. He had 3 sacks and just looked strong. I mean, I really liked what I saw from Odafe Oweh today. Ojabo was playing the Sam role a lot, Tyus Bowser's role. That's not where he's going to be, I don't think, but Tyus is not there, and we probably don't have the right guy to kind of play that role. That's why I was hoping we would sign Van Noy, because he would be able to plug right in there and execute that role at a high level. We still may sign Van Noy. He hasn't signed anywhere yet, but Ojabo was playing that role today. But I would like to see Ojabo just rushing the passer more often. So hopefully Tyus can get back soon, and/or we can fill that Sam role with a guy like Van Noy so that Ojabo can get back to his normal role. Ronnie Stanley's missed practice the last 2 days, but Harbaugh did give an update today saying that they're just giving his ankle some rest. That ankle that he had surgically repaired and that he's been battling for years now. So I guess not technically a vet day, but kind of a vet day. It's just a rest day because he does have that injury history with that ankle, so they're just taking it easy, but there's no injury. There's no new injury. Ronnie Stanley's fine, and I'm sure he'll be back out there soon. I'd rather keep these guys healthy. I mean, the best news coming out of today's practice and every practice is no major injuries. Obviously, here and there, a guy's going to have a little tweak, get a little banged up. I mean, it's football. There's no way you come out of it clean, but no major injuries. We don't want to hear the Pepe Williams type news from any other guys. So let's just keep getting out of practice healthy. I think that's the main important thing. We're getting good work. I like that we're doing these joint practices. We have another joint practice against the Washington Commanders tomorrow. Season is quickly approaching. Next preseason game is Monday night. I will do the contest again this weekend where I ask a question, and then you guys just comment your answers, and whoever's closest, I'll send $50. So look forward to that this weekend. That's it for today. I appreciate you guys tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim there where the sense can't tame the untamed.